Hello and welcome to the Pennsylvania Association of College Admission Counseling College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event today. I'm Jennifer, I'm your facilitator. We have some fantastic schools that are here. Each of them will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but they'll be around for the entire session to answer your questions. Here are a few more housekeeping items though for you. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can though use that Q&A button to type your questions to our presenters at any time. You can leave a question for all of our schools to answer, or you can direct it to a specific school by including the name of the school with your question, so that representative knows that you want to hear from them. This is just one of many different sessions that are happening for Pennsylvania students. Be sure to check out the schedule on the website because you still can register for the sessions yet to come. This presentation and all of the presentations are being recorded. They'll be available in the coming days at the same website where you register and can see the schedule, stryscan.com/Pennsylvania. All right, well, I'm really excited to hand it over to our first school and get started. We're going to be learning all about Stevenson University.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Fitzgerald, and I'm here from Stevenson University. I'm excited to share more information with you this evening. All right, so I'm going to go through a slideshow right now, and we'll just tell you a bit more information. Stevenson University is located in Owings Mills, Maryland. We are not too far from Pennsylvania in general, depending on which city or area of the state you are coming from. Just down Interstate 83, pick up the Baltimore Beltway, and we're located about 25 minutes in the northwest suburbs of Baltimore. Also quick access to the state capital of Annapolis and the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. So we really try to take great advantage of our strong location, not only for fun activities for students to do, but also the rich area we are in for jobs and internships and career opportunities. So that's a bit about the location of the university. And over on the right side of the screen, you'll see a bit more about the aerial view of the campus. Stevenson is in a real expansion period of our history right now, which makes it a very exciting place to work and go to school. Here you'll see that we are establishing the top part of the screen. You'll see as the northern part of the campus as our academic center. We are currently building an additional library there as well. We have our School of Design, the Manning Academic Center that houses our Berman School of Nursing and Health Professions and Fine School of the Sciences as well. And then as we get further south on the campus, you'll see our Mustang Stadium, gymnasium, residence halls that actually earned a number 7 ranking by niche.com this year. So we were excited about that. And the Brown School of Business and Leadership furthest to the south. To the east of our campus is another expansion area where we're developing additional athletic space for our students. Here is a bit more about the nuts and bolts of Stevenson University by the numbers. We have about 2,700 full-time undergraduate students. So Stevenson is a relatively small university. We are also an independent university, and we have a strong career focus. That's what we'll talk about it a bit when we get to the academics. With our small student body, our average class size is only 17 students. So no large lecture halls. You won't see stadium style seating or anything like that when you come to our campus. They are relatively small classes. A large class could be about 30. And as you get into your upperclassmen years, maybe just 6 or 8 students in a class. So that's why 17 balances out as our average. And we see a great benefit in that for our students with the relationships they get to make both in the classroom with their classmates and the professors. About a 14-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And we have a diverse student body where about 42% of our students identify as a member of a racial or ethnic minority group. I mentioned earlier about our career focus. 100% of our majors across the board not only provide opportunities for internships, but it is so central to who we are that an internship, a research opportunity, or a capstone project is actually required for graduation in all of our majors. We start students in their major classes as early as freshman year. So you really get exposed to your field nice and early. And if you are so motivated, can end up starting on those internship or research opportunities nice and early in your college career and possibly have multiple opportunities. Here is an overview of our 6 undergraduate schools and all the different majors that we have to offer. Among our most popular majors are nursing, business administration, biology, criminal justice, cybersecurity, and we also have a deciding option as well for students who find Stevenson to be the right fit for them, but they don't quite know what they want to study, and that's perfectly fine. Among these different majors as well, many of them have tracks within them, so you can get a bit more specific. For example, business administration has tracks within entrepreneurship, sport management, and finance, so you can get a bit more specific in those areas. Nursing, our largest major, is direct admission, so that's important to know if there are any prospective nursing students out there. And both our nursing program and biomedical engineering require specific admission to the major. A new addition to this slide is we have started a bachelor's degree in healthcare management within our Brown School of Business and Leadership, and also started our first doctoral program in clinical psychology this year. You'll also notice we have a number of pre-professional advising areas to help you with a law school or medical school aspiration after Stevenson. And we have 2 different types of minors as well, both discipline or academic minors, as well as professional minors that are a bit shorter in nature, 4 classes instead of 6, and more career-based than academic. So the topics vary there between the 2 different types of minors. I'd like to switch gears with the 2 minutes I have remaining and talk a bit about the application process. Stevenson is part of the Common Application, and we do not charge a fee in order for you to apply to the university. Then you have your school counselor send your official high school transcript, and you would be writing an essay and a short response as well. For this upcoming academic year, Stevenson will be test optional, so it is purely your choice if you wish to send the SAT or ACT along with your application. So as you can see on the slide, we were test blind for this year, but we're moving to test optional for next year. We also have a number of merit-based scholarships that range from $10,000 to $21,000 per year. All accepted students are automatically considered for them, and we put that information inside your admission packet. It's renewable for 4 years. We also have a number of specialty scholarships as well. I specifically want to call out the one on the top of the screen, our full tuition opportunity called the Presidential Fellowship. I invite you to come to campus for a visit. We have many tours and open houses, and here is my contact information. Thank you so much for your time and attention this evening, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you.
Elizabeth, thank you for starting us off today and for sharing all about Stevenson. We are moving on to school number 2. We're going to be hearing from Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
Thank you very much. And hi, everyone. My name is Nicole Carrera, and I am from IUP. We are one of the Pennsylvania state schools. We're part of the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education, so we are one of those schools. We have around 9,000 students or so that attend IUP, a little bit over 9,000. So we're mid-size in the grand scheme of things, I guess. Our campus everything's located right here together. The Oak Grove is our central part of campus. There's a couple of pictures of those on the screen. All the buildings are sort of centered around the Oak Grove, and we are only about a block and a half away from downtown Indiana, which is Philadelphia Street's the main street. So it's very close to lots of things within the community. We have students from most states, lots of different countries. I would say half of our Pennsylvania students are from Eastern PA and half are from Western Pennsylvania. So students from all over. We do offer over 100 different majors for students to choose from. And our most popular majors, I would say, are nursing, the pre-professional majors, business, psychology. We have some majors that not a ton of schools in Pennsylvania offer, like fashion studies, interior design, family consumer science education, safety science is a big major here too, but just all sorts of different programs. We have a big graduate school as well. And then we also, instead of calling our students undecided or undeclared, we have exploratory majors. So if students know they want to major in business, for example, but they're not sure what, they could come in as exploratory business and get to, explore those different areas. So that's an option as well if students aren't sure what they want to major in. Our student to faculty ratio is 17:1. We have a ton of study abroad programs, and obviously during COVID, a lot of that suffered a little bit, but it is a very popular thing here at IUP. And if someone's not interested in doing study abroad in another country, we have national student exchange. About 170 of us throughout the United States participate in the National Student Exchange. So maybe you want to study at another university in the United States for a semester, like Texas or California or somewhere, that's an option. And internships are also at IUP extremely popular. There are always every year about 3,000 plus internships and out of classroom experiences happening. So students are even doing multiple internship opportunities, and about 73% of our students do get job offers from doing their internship. So it's obviously great to take advantage of those internship opportunities. And that's any major, doesn't matter if you're biology, art, finance, whatever it might be, you can get that, excuse me, get that internship experience. We are, like I said, a little bit bigger campus with 9,000 plus students. So we do have a lot of clubs and organizations that students can join. Everything from, you know, paintball club to the campus newspaper to whatever you can think of, to being a campus tour guide. We're Division II, part of the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. We also have lots of club and intramural sports, including like men's and women's rugby and men's and women's ice hockey, which do compete with other colleges and universities. And we do have a convention center on our campus, the Kowalczyk Complex. So that brings in a lot of entertainment to the community that our students obviously also get access to as well. Lots of support services for students, anything you can think of. Not listed here is Hawks Q&A, which is our place in the library that students can go weekends, evenings, during the day and find out the answer to any question they can possibly think of. That has been really popular. In terms of application, if you're a junior or younger, our application always opens July 1 before your senior year. We're still taking applications for fall 2022. If not, then fall 2023 would be the next time. We are not requiring SAT scores through 2025 at least. So you really just need to apply. There's no application fee, and then send your high school transcript. If you're a college student, then we would need your college transcript as well. So that's really all we would need, is the application and the high school transcript. Scholarships are offered at the time that the student is admitted. So based on your high school transcript, within a couple of weeks of being accepted, if you're eligible, you could receive your scholarship offer from IUP. As I said, the application opens July 1. We normally start admitting around September 1st. And nursing and speech pathology sometimes do fill up. So it's important to apply to those majors early. The rest of the majors aren't really in that situation, so there's plenty of time to apply for those. And in terms of financial aid, it's just the FAFSA that we require, and around $13,000 a year is our average aid award for IUP. And then obviously, you know, tuition deposits due by May 1, which we're getting close to that for those students that are coming this fall. At that time, you can go in and select your housing, schedule your orientation, and do all of that fun stuff you need to do to become a student at IUP. And this is my contact information, as well as the link to our visit options that are available Saturdays, weekdays, lots of different options for students. So thanks everyone so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for presenting on IUP. All right, as we get ready to head to our third school, which will be St. Francis University, I just want to remind our attendees about the Q&A button. That is a great way to open that box and submit questions to the schools that have presented or the schools that are to come. Any majors you're thinking about or activities, any questions that you have, please, these representatives would love to help answer and make today a little more personal for you. All right, so as I said, we're going to St. Francis University. Bobby, you can take it away.
Thanks. I had to find my mute there. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Bobby Anderson, representing St. Francis University. We are located in Loretto, Pennsylvania, just about 2 hours east of Pittsburgh. So if you're familiar with central Pennsylvania, pretty easy to find. You can see our university president, Father Malachi Van Tassel, here pictured, but what's really important is the quote that he shares in a video that you may have seen circulating on TV commercials or our YouTube channel, whatever. But there again, we do recognize the inherent purpose of each and every student that comes to St. Francis University, and our role to support them as they discover the person that they were uniquely created to be. So it's just important that we start off with that kind of statement of mission, if you will. If you're not very familiar with St. Francis University, we are one of the oldest Catholic institutions in the nation. However, we are the oldest of celebrating the Franciscan intellectual tradition. There are 23 Franciscan universities in the country, and we are the oldest. And of course, being established in 1847. So we're celebrating a big birthday this year, number 175. We like to share our goals of Franciscan higher education. It really is the foundation and bedrock of everything that we do in the classroom, out of the classroom. So as you kind of scan down through those 8 goals, maybe there's 1 or 2 that kind of reach out to you and touch your spirit and who you believe you are called to be in your life. And although we are a Catholic institution, only about 50 to 60% of our students identify as Catholic. So we are still very diverse, religiously speaking. And it's important to note that our graduates, regardless of their faith practice or no faith practice, do very much connect with the Franciscan values, the goals here that you see in front of you, as reported in an annual survey of our grads. So we're very happy to see that what we have to share is deeply meaningful to our students throughout their experience. Our flash facts are, again, just a little bit of information about us. We have 600 acres, and promise if you come to visit for a tour, we won't make you walk all 600 acres. You can see our enrollment figures there and a number of programs. We are a comprehensive university, just starting up our 2nd doctoral program. Our first is a Doctor of Physical Therapy, and our newest one is Doctor of Education and Organizational Leadership and Innovation. So we're excited to kick that one off. Retention rate, very high percentage of our first-year students that continue to return to St. Francis. Our graduation rate there, again, very strong. Average class size, probably similar to what most of you have experienced thus far in high school. And our placement rate, very something we're very, very proud of. 99% of our graduates are gainfully employed or continuing their education in graduate schools within 9 months of graduation. Most of our students do live here on campus, and believe it or not, as small as we are, we're one of the nation's smallest Division I institutions, sponsoring 23 sports in the Northeast Conference. So it is exciting to be such a small school, but still see some of the bigger schools come to campus, or when we travel out, some of those bigger, probably more well-known schools, and us competing very well with them, and sometimes even getting to go to the big tournaments there. Lots of organizations, Greek life as well. Lots to do. So a couple of slides that connect to our academics. These are our 4 schools, and they're designed for interdisciplinary study, whether you're in the Shield School of Business, our School of Health Sciences Education, that represents our largest school. So we have a 3+2 accelerated Master Physician Assistant Science program, which probably is our most in-demand program and fills up very quickly. So if that's an area of interest, you'll want to apply early. Also, we are tied for #1 BSN nursing program in the country. So excited about those programs. Anything there, again, with professional licensure and certification falls in that school. Our School of STEAM, our sciences and technology, engineering, arts, mathematics, and Francis Worldwide for our adult learners or students who want an entirely 100% online educational experience. Of course, as a faith-based institution, we do focus on educating the whole person. So a lot of that goes not just in the classroom, but out of the classroom as well. And we really look at the holistic view of our students and how we can impact their personal growth, learning, and discovery of themselves, the world, and their place within it. And a lot of that happens through transformational experiences. So it's been mentioned before, the power of internships, absolutely. The ability to give to the community through service, through undergraduate research, starting as early as freshman year. Certainly campus ministry, they're again Catholic and other faith denominations as well. Leadership, connecting and engaging with others to cause positive movements for change, and study abroad. About 30% of our grads usually have a study abroad experience before graduation, including our flagship program in Ambulay, France. So I always like to tell students, for a whole semester at the same cost of being on campus, you can study in Loretto or in the foothills of southern France in the 12th century monastery. Looks just like Hogwarts. Pretty exciting stuff. And of course, you put all that together, it does produce some pretty remarkable results, not only for the university, but really for our students. So the biggest takeaways for St. Francis, there again, being a small school, we're a teaching school, really focused on you, the learner. Obviously with small class sizes, the advising and personal professional mentoring is outstanding. Our state-of-the-art facilities, both for science and to the service of others. And there again, we're a small school with big spirit. Being a D1 program brings a lot of excitement to campus, whether you're directly involved with athletics or not. And we hope you will consider joining our Red Flash family. Thank you, Jennifer.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Bobby, for sharing St. Francis University. Our next school today will be the Pennsylvania College of Health Sciences.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Graybill. I am a senior admission counselor here at PA College of Health Sciences. I'm hoping you're able to see my screen. PA College is a smaller college. We are in Lancaster, PA, and we are devoted specifically to healthcare. All of our majors that we offer are focused on healthcare careers in the hospital setting. This is just a quick glance at our admission team, and the big thing that's important for students to know is just that you're not alone as you go through the admission process. Although we're a small college, we have been around for over 100 years. We started as a nursing college in the early 1900s. And then over the past several years, as medicine and technology have advanced, we've added several different programs that students can consider. We have gone from offering diploma programs to offering associate, bachelor's, master's, and even doctoral level programs. As I mentioned, our goal is to educate students for excellence in healthcare practice. We want students to be lifelong learners, and we want you to really be able to meet all of your professional goals through the programs that we offer. Just a few statistics about our school. We are also a small college, so we only have around 1,900 students, and you would actually find that not all of our students are on campus at a given time. Part of the reason for this is that a lot of students who are in our bachelor's and even our master's programs are primarily learning online, and that's because of the way that a lot of our programs are designed. We do have a really good small non-clinical student to faculty ratio. So when you're in the classroom setting, once again, you won't be in a large environment with a few hundred other students, for example. Your instructors really will know who you are. When you're in the clinical setting, those numbers are even smaller. So once again, you do get very good individualized attention. We do see that there is a pretty nice mix as far as traditional age students as well as adult learners. And we do have a lot of students from the local area, but we certainly welcome students from outside of Lancaster as well. We do see that our students have been very successful as far as with their programs and then their licensing at the end of their program. So for our nursing, we typically see a 98% average passage rate for first-time test takers. And with our health sciences, usually about a 90% passage rate for the first time. We do also see that a lot of our students are accepted into positions before they graduate. And a lot of that happens because of either advancement in their current position after they've earned their degree, or because of their clinical experiences. As of this time, we do not offer on-campus housing. We are set to primarily be a commuter campus. At the same time, there are several local apartment complexes nearby that students can access. And this is something that we can certainly assist with in that process. Lancaster is a really vibrant community. There are a lot of different options, whether you want to live downtown or live in the country. And there's definitely a lot to offer. Lancaster is really a nice, kind of a big, small city, so to speak, just because we do have a small town feel, but yet there's a lot to do around us. I do want to mention that all of our programs are accredited. So in addition to the college being fully accredited by Middle States, all of our programs are individually accredited as well from their specific governing bodies. So that's really important for you to know, in meaning that you will be able to take any licensing exams after completion, as well as find employment in your field of study. The things to think about as you do look at our college. As I mentioned, we do have smaller class sizes, and with our undergraduate programs, your clinicals are actually guaranteed. So when we accept a student into our program, you know that you will be beginning your clinicals sometimes in your first semester of study, maybe second or third, depending on the way that the program is designed. We do have a new campus, which we have moved to within the past 5 or 6 years. So there's definitely a lot of technological advances and a lot of different perks for students to experience with us. We are affiliated with Penn Medicine and Lancaster General Health, so you are learning at top-notch medical facilities to get that clinical experience. In addition, our students are able to graduate faster and be out working sooner because of the way that our programs are designed. When we do have students apply to us, typically we're going to look primarily at your academic requirements as kind of our most important areas. We do typically like to see at least a 3.0 GPA. Some programs could be a little bit more competitive, like the ultrasound or maybe our 3-year BSN. For a high school student, we do require at least Algebra 2, biology, and another lab science such as chemistry, physics, or anatomy, all with at least a C or higher. Of course, we want to see those A and B grades preferably. And we are now test optional as well. If you're a student who did very well on your exams and you really want to share those scores, please include them, but they are not required for admission. If you do decide to apply with us, you would go to our website and click on that apply link right there. Your next step would really be to have your official transcripts sent to us. You can use that promo code that's listed there, PCHS22. That would waive your application fee. So the application would be free. And then you would have your high school send to us any transcripts. And once again, if you want to include your test scores, those can come too. Your school does need to send those to us for those to be considered official. They can come to our admissions email address, or they can be mailed to our office address listed there as well. And that information is also on our website too for you to see. We do have a rolling admission process. So if you do want to apply at any time, you're more than welcome to do so. So we do accept applications even after those deadlines. We do have a number of career paths available. As I mentioned, everything is healthcare focused. And this is just kind of a quick overview of the programs. Most students come in and do an associate degree first, and then can continue into our bachelor's options, which is really exciting.
Nicole, we've reached the end of the 6 minutes. I know it just flies by, so I want to make sure we can get your contact information in the chat so everyone can be sure to follow up with you today.
Absolutely, I will get that out for you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing about Pennsylvania College of Health Sciences. All right, we are moving on to our next school, and that will be North Carolina State University.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this evening. I'm Kaylee Watkins. I'm one of the admissions officers at NC State University, located in Raleigh, the capital of North Carolina. So I'm excited to share with you all a little bit about our school today. All righty, so we are NC State University, again, located in Raleigh. It's a really great place to be, especially with all of the opportunities that go on there. We are actually the largest institution in North Carolina. So we have over 36,000 total students and about 26,000 undergraduates. So it definitely is going to be that larger campus feel. But with that said, our student to faculty ratio is about 14:1, and our average class size is about 35. So depending on the major you're in, and especially once you advance into your more major specific classes, you'll still get to experience that more intimate classroom environment. We are known for our STEM majors, so science, technology, engineering, and math are definitely big programs here at NC State, but we do offer over 100 majors in total, so I'll talk a little more about that in just a bit. In terms of our campus, so we are actually divided into two main areas for our undergraduates. We have our main campus and what we call Centennial Campus. They are just a couple miles from one another, so students may have classes on both campuses. But typically with Centennial Campus, the biggest difference is that hosts our College of Engineering and College of Textiles. But in addition to hosting those academic buildings, we also have about 70 different industry, government, and nonprofit partners who actually have their businesses located there. So a really great way to get involved, whether it's through volunteering or internships right in your backyard. In terms of kind of what students can do at NC State, we are known for our research opportunities for undergraduates as well as entrepreneurship. And we were recently ranked #1 for undergraduate entrepreneurship in the Southeast. So kind of to give you a feel of what that looks like, we do have entrepreneurship majors that NC State offers within our business program. But then regardless of the major you're in, we do have career centers and workshops where you can really come learn how to kind of develop your own product, business, or whatever it may be. I kind of mentioned co-ops and internships earlier, but being in the downtown Raleigh area is super helpful in terms of getting you connected with either government agencies or nonprofits or businesses. There's a lot of tech companies located in the Raleigh area as well. So endless opportunities to get that hands-on learning. We also have about 200 different study abroad programs that we offer. So if that's something you're looking to do, you can absolutely do that at NC State. There's also a lot of variety when it comes to location of study, length of study, and then also if you want to focus your studies in a specific major or area abroad, there are a lot of different programs where you can do that as well. And then finally, I mentioned we are a research institution. So there is a research component kind of woven into each major at NC State, but all of our faculty conduct research while they're on campus. So you can definitely get more involved in research beyond the classroom as well. When it comes to majors, we offer over 100 programs. And up here, what you're seeing is the top 10 programs that students were admitted into last year. Just one thing I want to point out are our first year programs and exploratory studies. So basically all the ones you see on the left hand of the screen. Our first year programs, what those do is give you a chance to kind of focus your interests, but still explore different programs under a larger umbrella. So for example, we offer 18 types of engineering, but if you come in through engineering first year, you really get a chance to feel out which one's going to be the best fit for you before you declare. And then exploratory studies is essentially our undecided program, but it's structured very intentionally. So you get a lot of one-on-one advising, and you would also work really closely with our Career Development Center. In terms of applying, this is basically a snapshot of what that looks like. So we use both Common App and Coalition. There's an $85 application fee, but we do accept fee waivers. And then the only other thing we require is basically your official high school transcript. Test scores, it is completely optional for you to submit if you're applying for 2023 or 2024. If you choose to submit scores, that's great. It can only be used to help you. So if you feel you have strong scores, feel free to self-report them on your application. If you don't have scores you're confident in, that's totally fine too. It's not going to disadvantage you if you choose to leave off that information. As far as deadlines go, we have two different opportunities for freshmen to apply for fall: early action, and our deadline is November 1, and regular decision, where our deadline is January 15th. There are a lot of benefits to applying early action. It's not binding, so you're not committed to NC State. You just get an earlier decision, but you also get priority consideration for most of our merit-based scholarships. So I always encourage students to go that route if you can. If you are looking at a studio-based major like architecture, for example, you do also have to apply early and submit a portfolio for those programs. And then finally, kind of what we look for when we review applications. We do have a holistic review, so everything you see here is considered, but academics are at the forefront of review. So looking to see that you have strong grades like A's and B's, usually more A's, and advanced coursework is definitely something that we like to see. And then just one other thing I wanted to point out on this page is interest in the program you're applying for. At NC State, we do admit and review by major. So the major that you pick is exactly what you're going to be looked at for. So making sure you're intentional about that selection is definitely something you'll want to do. And then finally, in terms of cost of attendance, this is the estimated cost of attendance for out-of-state students living on campus. So that room and board part is required for the first year, but after your first year, you can choose to live off campus. And then again, yeah.
We've reached the end of your time as well. I know 6 minutes, it goes by so quickly, but want to make sure we can get your contact for follow-up in the chat too. So thank you so much for presenting on NC State. All right, so we have reached the end of the formal part of our presentation. Unfortunately, the University of Stirling was not able to join us today, but I do hope that if you are interested in learning more about their programs, you will head to their website and be in contact with their admissions staff to ask questions, explore, learn more about them. beyond today. All right, we do have a little bit of time remaining. We want to make sure all of our attendees have a chance to think if there's any questions they want to put in the Q&A, and also to make sure they're able to get the contact information from the chat. So while we're doing those things, we'll do a little bit of live Q&A. I'd like to invite all the representatives to come back on camera. We'll join together. All right, we're going to go in the exact same order you presented. So we'll start with Stevenson. We'll flow to NC State. When the person ahead of you finishes, just feel free to turn your microphone on. I won't call on you from person to person. We'll just kind of move right through. All right, the first question for all of you. Admissions professionals have the best tips and advice on the college search process. So what is one of your favorite pieces of advice, a top tip that you have to share with these students and families about going through the college search process? So Elizabeth, thanks for starting us off.
Sure. My best piece of advice on this topic would be to make a list of your non-negotiables. What is super important to you when you're looking for a college? Is it that you want a small school or a big school or a certain location, or to play a sport, or to be involved in a study abroad program? What are those non-negotiables? And then try to stick to that. Remain authentic to that. Don't choose a college because that's where your best friend is going or something like that. So I would say starting early so that you have plenty of time to think about those tip-top things that are super important to you in the college search process. Put them down on paper, utilize all the technology out there surrounding the college search process, and help make your list that way. And then visit. That's certainly the best piece of advice when it comes to the college search process.
Yeah, Elizabeth touched on what I was going to say, and that's visit if you can. That's always what I recommend and have always recommended families do if possible, is to try to visit the schools that you're really interested in. It's the only way you're really going to know for sure, I love this place, or I'm not so sure about this place. And even if at first you have to do a virtual tour or something like that to just kind of get an idea of it, go ahead and do that too.
You guys are taking all my thunder. I was going to lead with absolutely visit your campuses that you're exploring. You know, there's so much information on the website and social media, and that's really great to kind of get an indication of what maybe piques your interest and some things that you find fascinating about the schools, but nothing beats the in-person experience. So not only being on the campus, but also connecting with your admissions counselor, with the faculty or dean of your particular major, other areas of campus life that you hope to experience, whether that's ROTC or campus ministry, fine arts, esports, athletics, you name it. Work that into your personal visit, and that'll make all the difference.
And I will echo exactly what's been said. That tour is really the best way for you to check out a campus and see if it is the right fit. You know, everybody has the pretty view books and brochures, and everybody's website's going to look good. But you really have to set foot on that campus and see if that's the right place for you. And then I would also mirror, you know, the comment as well about if there's a major, you know, talk to the dean, talk to, you know, the instructor of the band, talk to, you know, the coach of the sport that you're interested in, because in that way you really get a good feel for what the campus community is like.
Definitely agree with everything that's been said. The only thing I would add is to try to connect with current students if you're able. Visiting campus in person is a great way to do that if your tour is led by students, but oftentimes you may be able to connect with them through the specific major that you're looking to go into if they offer a program like that. And then also just location. So looking at the school, but also what's kind of around the school can be helpful sometimes, depending on if you like to do things outdoors or if you want to be located more near a city. So all those factors are definitely good to keep in mind.
I love when one of you is sharing and you see the other heads nodding along. I hope that shows families that schools in a range of locations and sizes and areas of focus, and the counselors really, you know, agree. I think these are some of the best tips. So thank you all for sharing them. All right, next question. I know this one's tricky, but I know you'll be able to do it. So I'd love for each of you to share one top thing or a key takeaway that you really think kind of encapsulates your institution to help our attendees after they leave today and are remembering and thinking about your school. So Elizabeth, thanks for starting again.
Sure. The one takeaway that I believe is important to remember about Stevenson University is our career preparation piece that I talked about, I think, multiple times in the presentation. Really, the hallmark of a Stevenson education is getting that hands-on preparation. So students across the board in all of our majors are required to do internships or have research opportunities. So we are really proud to get students out of our classrooms as well, putting to use all the good information they've been learning from their faculty so that they can experience it for themselves, build their resumes, build their network of colleagues. And then sometimes that even leads to, excellent job opportunities or references upon graduation. So definitely the hands-on preparation career piece for Stevenson.
And I was going to say that too, but I'm not. I'm going to say something else just for something different. So, I mean, I mentioned the Hawks Q&A just being a center, a place, whether you're submitting a question online or in person, just if you don't know something or you're not sure where to go, just that resource that's available on IUP's campus, as well as, I didn't mention this in my presentation, but we have something called the Guides program. It's a faculty or staff member that volunteers to be a guide for a new freshman to reach out to you. They're not going to be super invasive, don't worry, but just there to email you once in a while, check on you, see if you have questions, concerns, just those two helpful resources for our students to hopefully make them successful.
I think probably the biggest takeaway for St. Francis University is something that we didn't choose for ourselves, but is a descriptor that is so often repeated to us, and that's family. That's our hashtag, Red Flash Family. There's such a family feel here. The way that you are supported and cared for and mentored throughout your entire experience, how much the parents are connected to the process from pre-enrollment during summer orientation all the way through graduation and beyond. So that's something we definitely exhibit, and maybe that's part of our Franciscan mission and our values is, seeing the uniqueness of each and every individual person, recognizing that you as a student represent an answered prayer in someone else's life.
With our college, probably the biggest thing that is important to know is just that with us being healthcare focused, as I mentioned, students in our undergraduate programs do have guaranteed clinical placement. So that's one thing that is a little bit unique. Not all colleges guarantee that. So with ours, when you start your program, you actually get that experience pretty directly. And also your instructors that you're learning from are experts in their field of study. So if you're in a nursing course, you're learning from a nurse. If you're in an ultrasound course, you're learning from someone who is a seasoned veteran in ultrasound. So really just that knowledge, that experience, and that continued hands-on learning throughout really sets students up for success in their career.
For NC State, I think one of the biggest things that stands out is just campus size. Larger campus sizes, obviously, it's not for everyone, but it's definitely something that provides a lot of opportunity for NC State students. And a lot of our current students and graduates, they always talk about NC State's community and that it is a big school. There's a lot that comes with that, but then there's also so many different ways that you can find your smaller community on campus. So that's definitely something we hear from a lot of our current students, just all of the things that you can do on campus to really kind of find your niche.
Awesome. I hope that for everyone who's watching, whether it was live or on recording, that, maybe it was one school or two that drew you here, and now you're thinking you've got 5 schools that you need to check out for each of the unique things that they offer. Well, we are reaching the end of our time together, the more formal aspects of that. So before we depart, I want to say thank you to all of our panelists and for being here. You represented your schools with not just all those dates and facts and figures and finances, but just the passion, the energy you have for each of your students' experiences inside and outside the classroom. For everyone who's watching, again, we do hope this is helping you in your college search process. Yes, it's a lot of work and can get stressful, but it's really fun and exciting to see what's out there and to find your next college home. For the logistics, when you close your window, there's going to be a very quick 5-question survey. Students, I promise it's short. We would appreciate any feedback that you can provide. We do encourage you to check the schedule for the remaining sessions. It's not too late to sign up and join us. We hope you'll be excited to learn about more wonderful schools. And remember too, that this session has been recorded, as are all sessions, and they will be posted in the coming days at that same website where you register. You can see that address again on the screen, strivescan.com/Pennsylvania. Thank you again, everyone, for taking time out of your day to be here. We appreciate it, and all the best to you as the school year comes to a close. Have a great day. Thank you.